What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a super exciting Liverpool transfer news video. And Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Liverpool have met with the agent of Ederson, the 25-year-old brilliant defensive midfielder from Atalanta, and talks are ongoing. Liverpool want to sign a defensive midfielder to complement the double pivot that Arne is going to play in the 4-2-3-1 formation, and to either accompany Endo or Trent Alexander-Arnold or McAllister, whoever plays, or Bajcetic or whoever plays in the defensive midfield role. So Fabrizio Romano has claimed that Liverpool could strengthen their midfield ranks this summer, having held several meetings with the agents of Ederson, the Atalanta midfielder who has shown for Atalanta, who had their best season probably in their history, winning their first European trophy, beating Leverkusen 3-0 in the final after Leverkusen went unbeaten for the whole season. And Ederson was instrumental in the whole of Atalanta's season, and they finished in 4th place in the Serie A, qualifying themselves for the Champions League as well. So guys, if you are excited about this news and if you enjoy these videos, just leave a like and subscribe if you are new here so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool FC. Just turn on the bell notification. And Liverpool have been linked with Ederson of Atalanta in recent weeks, and Ederson has publicly admitted that he is curious about the possibility of a transfer move to the Premier League. And speaking on his channel, Fabrizio Romano shared the news that Liverpool Chiefs have met with Ederson's representatives, but it was just a preliminary meeting. So Liverpool of course want Ederson to finish his holidays after being involved in the Copa America with the Brazilian national team, and after that Ederson will go back to Italy, to Atalanta, and that's when the real negotiation, and that's when a potential medical can be set up. Fabrizio Romano said, "I would not be surprised if Liverpool go for a midfielder this summer, because for example they have had several meetings and contacts with the agents of Ederson from Atalanta. He's one of the players that Liverpool considered and are considering in the midfield, but they never sent a proposal so far, also because they know it's going to be difficult, it's going to be complicated. And Atalanta are, famous for being very tough negotiators in the transfer market, which explains why Liverpool acknowledge how difficult it could be to actually buy Ederson for a somewhat reasonable price. For example, Atalanta sold Christian Romero to Tottenham for 42 million, which was a very substantial transfer fee, but in the end I think Romero was more than worth that money to Tottenham. But Rasmus Højlund's sale to Manchester United after just one good season in Atalanta, it cost 64 million to Man United, potentially rising to 72 million if Rasmus Højlund achieves a lot of objectives. But Rasmus Højlund has been a pretty big failure at Man United, and Man United finishing 8th and Højlund having massive goal droughts going on for months. I think Man United fans expected a lot more in his first season, but still it doesn't distract from the fact that Atalanta got huge money for both of these players. And Ederson, at 25 years old, he is entering his prime years as a defensive midfielder. He is at the ideal age to come in and immediately start for Liverpool, and that's why I think it's worth spending 40, 45, maybe even 50 million on Ederson, because he's better than Endo. He's even more dynamic, and he has really great tackling skills, very good physically, and he's pretty fast as well, pretty agile, and he can run and carry the ball forward. He's a great box-to-box midfielder, and he is a long-term option. He can play at Liverpool for the next 5, 6, 7 years. He has resale value as well. Endo is for the next 2 or 3 years basically. And Ederson can also adapt to a variety of roles. He can even play as a box-to-box midfielder if it's needed. He can even play as a number 8. A tally of 6 goals in 36 Serie A games last season was respectable for a player in his position, because sometimes he played as a defensive midfielder, sometimes a box-to-box midfielder, and his quality qualities are as an enforcer are highlighted by his metrics. He has 2.5 tackles per game on average and 1.4 interceptions per game on average, and that 1.4 interceptions places him in the top 15% among midfielders across the top 5 leagues in the past year. So Ederson could be a solid option to strengthen Arne Slot's Liverpool, and if Liverpool were to submit an offer for him, it won't be easy, of course, to get him from Atalanta, but I think one of the key positions that Liverpool need to strengthen is the defensive midfield spot. If we sign a brilliant centre-back and a brilliant defensive midfielder, I would be actually happy with the transfer window if we kept all 5 of our attackers. Yes, it would be nice if we got a Salah backup, a young, energetic, really fast right winger, somebody like Nico Williams, but maybe it would be too much to ask from Liverpool to sign a brilliant centre-back for 50 million, a brilliant defensive midfielder for 50 million and a brilliant winger for 50 million. But I think Liverpool have the budget to actually pull that off, because we still have 115 million sitting around from the Caicedo bid that wasn't completed, and Liverpool are selling some fringe players. For example, Ned Phillips, we are moving him on. We got a bid from Trabzonspor. I mean, Liverpool got a bid from Trabzonspor, but it was 4 million, so Liverpool rejected it. We are looking for 8 million, but if we sell Kelleher, for example, for 20 million and other fringe players, that would boost the transfer budget. And another English website is saying that Liverpool have been given a price tag for Ederson, and Liverpool are circling for Arne Slot's first transfer. And this new report from the Liverpool Echo indicates that Liverpool now know what it will take to take Ederson from Atalanta, to buy him from Atalanta, and it would take 42.5 million pounds, that's 50 million euros. And I think that's a value for money signing, because Ederson is, of course, that's probably his value, but because he's 25 years old, his best years are still ahead of him, or he's in his prime. So you are getting a player who could even become a 75 or 100 million pound player if he develops well under Arne Slot. And now, obviously, Liverpool have a need in this spot, because Wataruendo is 30 years old, Stefan Bajcetic is a very young player, and finding a capable player between those two ages, so Endo is 30, Bajcetic is like 20, 21, you need a midfielder, a defensive midfielder in his prime, and that would benefit Liverpool massively. But the biggest issue is that we still have no experience for what Arne Slot sees in terms of current players at the club. Many of them are involved or were involved in international play, international duty. So Arne Slot still doesn't have a good understanding of what exactly he needs in each position, because he hasn't seen in action a lot of our players. But we have seen Endo and he has seen Bajcetic, because they are both in pre-season training, so he can already have a sense of understanding what kind of options he has in the defensive midfield role. But he can still convert Trent Alexander-Arnold. That will be one of the big questions of the new season. What kind of position will Trent Alexander-Arnold play in the new season? But Ederson makes sense now, but we won't get a better understanding until we start seeing a lot of Liverpool players involved in pre-season matches. And actually, let's see how Arne Slot sets up Liverpool, what kind of tactics we will play under Arne Slot. Everyone expects a fluid 4-2-3-1, which can become a 4-3-3, sometimes a 4-1-4-1. Arne Slot said that many of his formations are really fluid, so you can't really say this is the one formation that we will play. Maybe it will be different in attack, in defense, in transition. So let's see what happens between now and the first set of friendlies. But I think once Liverpool start playing friendlies, and that will be in about 2 weeks, we will know a lot more about what Arne Slot requires from each position. But another newspaper is reporting that Tottenham and Newcastle are also interested in Ederson. So Liverpool shouldn't sit on their hands too long, shouldn't wait too long. But the fact that we are interested in Ederson and we are talking to his agent and his representatives shows me that our interest is real, and we want Ederson to know that we value him, we want him, and once, you know, the dust settles and Arne gets a feel for his squad, and also once Ederson is back from his holiday, that's where the real movement in the transfer market will start for Liverpool. And Fabrizio Romano confirmed one new Liverpool transfer already. He said the famous "here we go, he's joining" phrase, because following reports earlier this week that Liverpool were closing in on one of the most exciting young talents in English football, and definitely the biggest talent in the Chelsea Youth Academy. That's youngster Rio Ngumoa, who I already made a video about. Fabrizio Romano said, Liverpool are signing Rio Ngumoa from the Chelsea Academy. Exclusive story confirmed. And here we go. He is born in 2008, so he's just 15 years old. It still blows my mind how young these footballers are. He's set to sign documents after the agreement was revealed earlier this week. So several clubs wanted Rio Ngumoa, but he's joining Liverpool, the Liverpool Academy to be precise. And you shouldn't be surprised if in a matter of months or maybe in a matter of 1 year, he will be already training with the first team, and maybe when he is 16 or 17 years old, he will maybe get a few games in the League Cup or the FA Cup. We already saw players having made their debuts very young. Harvey Elliott made his Premier League debut when he was just 16 years old. And James Pearce described getting Ngumoa as a major coup for Liverpool, a sentiment which has also been shared by other journalists. And last year, when Chelsea's under-16s won the national title, Rio Ngumoa was named player of the tournament at just 15 years old. And he already played for the under-21 team. So he is as good as some 19 or 20-year-olds at the Chelsea Youth Academy. And he even trained with the senior squad. Do you know how crazy it is? That, I mean, Thiago Silva was at Chelsea this season that just finished. He's like 37 years old. This guy, Ngumoa, this kid, should I say, he could be his child, and they were training together at Chelsea. The Athletic news outlet outlined that a clear pathway to first team football was pivotal in this kid's decision to join Liverpool after seeing Jurgen Klopp hand game time to Jarrell Quansah, who is now a Premier League regular, like Conor Bradley as well. Jayden Dance got brilliant playing time in the League Cup and in the FA Cup. James McConnell, Bobby Clark, Lewis Kumas. And remember, Jayden Dance, Bobby Clark and Lewis Kumas all scored for Liverpool as Youth Academy players. Conor Bradley as well is now a regular, and he is in line to even maybe start some games in the Premier League for Liverpool next season. And especially Quansah and Bradley now being recognized first team players after being from the Youth Academy. That's amazing. How many big English clubs or how many big clubs in Europe can say that we have 3 or 4 players who can easily start for Liverpool, who are from the Youth Academy, who have been at Liverpool since the age of 6? We have Curtis Jones, we have Trent Alexander-Arnold, we have Conor Bradley, and we have Quansah. We could start with 4 of these players, and they have all been Youth Academy products, costing Liverpool pennies, peanuts, compared to somebody like Darwin Núñez, for example, who is the most expensive transfer of Liverpool's history. And of course, at his age, for Rio Ngumoa, it will take time for him to make that biggest of leap from academy to senior football. But with, of course, a lot of journalists talking up how significant a signing this is for Liverpool, then we have every right to be excited and very pleased about this transfer. So I'm really, really excited about this. And thanks for watching, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.